So let us we start with procure to pay. So first of all, I want to do some setups in inventory. So from inventory onwards, I want to explain to how to work with the procure to pay process. So basically in inventory, what we do, we create the item, right? Then. So let us. So now I am going to start from inventory onwards. Okay. Then go to open the Oracle applications. So here I am going to log in with our user. The PP9 1 2 3 4 5 6. So go to application developer. So now we want to go for our inventory. So in that inventory responsibility, I want to create a new item. I want to create a new item. Then here I want to choose master inventory organization. Now I am going to give the item name is P2P item. The item name is P2P item. Again I am going to give P2P item. Next go to inventory. So here I want to go to approach to the template. So I am going to choose the finished good. Click on apply and done. So no need to specify the checkbox, each and every checkbox which is required for this respected item. That is the reason I want to go for template. Okay. Now the item is created successfully with active status. So okay, and also here what are the checkboxes are required for the new item, all will be enabled automatically. Now we can go to, so here we want to do some minimum requirement setups, then only we can possible to do the planning reports. Otherwise we can't possible to run the planning reports. So what is the planning report means? Here go to purchasing. So here we are giving the list price, means estimated price. Inventory people is going to tell to the PO people, so item is having the some estimated price. So say example, now I am giving the estimated price is 50 rupees. 50 rupees is the estimated price, not is a fixed price. Actually the price is decided by the supplier. Okay, but the people is going to, inventory people is going to analyze the market and they are going to specify the estimated price. Okay, next go to receiving, not receiving, then here we have a planning methods. Yes, general planning. In that general planning, inventory planning method, presently it is not applicable for planning. So now we are going to specify the min max planning method. Okay, so we have several planning methods are there. Now we want to choose any one of that. So here I am choosing min max planning method. Min max planning method means we have some minimum quantity and maximum quantity. Suppose we have minimum quantity is 100, maximum quantity is 1000. Okay, so here whenever the quantity is less than 100, whenever the item quantity is reached to the less than 100, automatically the item is applicable for the planning method report. Planning method report. No one is going to each and every time assign this one. So whenever the item is going to less than the 100, automatically item is applicable for the planning methods. Automatically it is generated and fulfill the how many items? 1000 items, not up to 1000 items. Fulfill 1000 items only fulfill. So because of here present item is 70, so means the item less than the 100. So in this point of time, how much items they are going to book? And 1000 only. They don't want to go for 930. They want to fix with the, they want to book the 1000 quantity. That is the reason. Okay. The next, make or buy. So we have two. Already I told you we have three sources are there. Okay, supplier and manufacturing plant and return items. Basically, we are receive the items from supplier or else manufacturing plant. If you go for manufacturing plant, here we can choose the make. If you go for supplier, we can choose the buy. Now we want to work with the supplier base. That is the reason I am using buy. And who is the source? Source means supplier only. Supplier is the source. That is the reason we specify the buy. And once it is completed, okay, now we are going to done. So these are the minimum setups is required for our item. Okay, so what are the minimum setups? One is general planning, okay, minimum maximum quantity and make or buy, source and planning methods. Now the item is implemented to the planning method. Then next one is in purchasing we specify the estimated price. Okay, now we save the records. Now we save the records. Let us, I am going to check it. Now the item is created successfully and it is going to reflect some tables. Means what are the tables? MTL system items B, it is clearly show us which is the item is going to created. And also I want to assign this item into organizations, means member organizations. Now save the records. Now the item is available on 3 organizations, means applicable, right? So let us, we are going to execute the query. So what are the tables? Inventory. Select start from MTL system items B, where segment 1 like P2P item. So it is show us 3 records. Why? Because we assign 3 organizations. That is the reason it is going to show us, and each and every information is there in this respected table. So we have a estimated price. Minimum quantity and maximum quantity. And also it shows the source. Okay, default source is internal. Okay, you can check it. You can easily understand which is the source. What is the source of this item? So let us, once it is completed, now here the item is created successfully in our inventory organization. Now once it is completed, now we are going to run the planning reports. End of the day, the employer is going to analyze the requirement, what are the items are shortage. So based on that, the people is going to run this one, planning reports, minimax planning. Okay, then click on this minimax planning. So here it is going to ask us planning level, organization level or sub inventory level. Organization level, right? So here now I am going to specify each and everything. 0 and restock, we are going to specify the, yes, we want to restock it. Okay, and default delivery, legal entity, and so yes, everything will be as. Item selection, item categories, move order supply. Now I'm going to click on OK. Then before that, we can go to check it in our interface table. First we want to check it in our interface table whether the data is there or not. Okay. So here, what is the interface table is involved? What is the table? PO requisition interface all. PO requisition interface all. So here in this table there are so many records are there. Here we have a item ID. Okay. What is the item ID? 218955. Let us check it. We don't have any data with the reference of that item information in our interface table. Okay. Then now we want to run it this planning report. Now click on OK and submit. No, and find it. Now it is completed. Normal. Click on view log. Click on view output. It is show us which is the item is applicable for planning report, and also which is the item is shortage in our inventory, right? So here this is the item and this is the minimum quantity. This is the maximum quantity. Reorder quantity is 1000. That is the reason I told you. So if it is shortage of 70 items, then how much we are going to book it? 1000 only. Always it is going to book the maximum quantity. Means reorder quantity is 1000 only. Okay. So now let us check it in interface table. So data is created, right? We can go to check it in our interface table. We can execute the same query. It will show us some data. It will show us some data. Observe this one. The data is reflected, but the data does not process. This data does not process because of still it is available in interface table, means mediator table. So this table is going to clearly show us what are the information is coming from our inventory. Everything will be there. So what are the delivery location, so and item information, need by date and GL date, everything automatically it will come. Right. So now we are going to run the requisition import. So here now we are going to enter into PO module. Okay. Purchasing. So let us go to change the responsibility. So which responsibility? PO responsibility, and run the which program? Requisition import program. That requisition import program does not available in these functions. Okay. We can go to view, request, but planning report is available in functions. Okay. This report program does not available. We are going to run from directly SRS window. Requisition import. Requisition import. Let us observe this one. Import to source. What is the source? No. What is the source? Inventory. Data is coming from inventory, right? Data is coming from inventory. Inventory to PO. We want to transfer the data from inventory to PO. Right now the data is available in interface table. Okay. And group by item. Group by item and multiple distributions. We don't have multiple distributions, then we put as a no. Initiate approval after requisition import. Have you remember, whenever we are going to create the requisition, after that we are going to approve the requisition. First we create the request. So requester is create the request and the request manager is approve the request. So here the same two transactions is applicable. Initiate approval after request import. After completion of this request import program, the system is create the request and automatically approved. So if the approved hierarchy is coming under the approval, okay, then only it is possible to approve. Suppose say example here 50 and 1000. 1000 into 50 how much? 50,000. 50,000, right? 1000 into 50, 50,000 rupees applicable. So in our hierarchy, approval hierarchy, we are going to specify up to 1 lakh. If in case it is going to reach more than 1 lakh, it does not approve. Why? Because we are specify the approval is under up to 1 lakh only. Whenever the request is going to reach, means it is going to cross the 1 lakh, it is not approved. But here it is not cross or it will be cross. It will not cross, means it is going to having only 50,000 rupees. Definitely it is going to approve it. All of you clear or not? Yes. Okay. The next, now we are going to click on OK, submit, no, find it. Here, let us, we are going to check it in our interface table. Keep on, just you can go to execute this table. Observe this one. What happened? Data is reflected or not? What is the process flag? In process. The process flag is in process. Still keep on running it. Keep on execute it. It is going to show us in process. In process means still it is going to moving. Okay. It is moving because of our program does not completed. Now let us check it. Data is gone. Data is moved from interface tables to PO request phase tables. Exactly. Let us here observe this one. These are all are the supported programs. Supported programs means not supported to our request import program. Okay. So if in case the respected item does not applicable for a new supplier, so these are the releases is applicable and it will be going to generate the releases. We have two types of POs. One is purchase order, another one is agreement. If you want to go for PO, then we can go for create a standard PO. If already PO is there, agreement is there, what we do? Releases. That will be guaranteed there. But this item does not applicable for any releases because of we don't have any agreement with this item. Okay. That is the reason that both programs are automatically running when we are going to run this request import. Request import program only one of the program which is used to transfer the data from inventory request interface tables to request phase tables. Then let us now we can go to check it in request tables, right? So here request, select star from PO. So how we can go to find out what is our request? Anybody tell me? In request we have 3 tables are there, but we don't know what is the request number. System is going to show us any request number to us. So how? Which table we can access? I want to know where exactly we are going to find out which it is our data in our equation table. In equation there are a lot of information is there. So how we can go to find out our equation? Then tell me. We have 3 tables. This is the equation headers. So how we can go to find out? So here in lines all we have a item ID. Have you find out the item ID or not? So in that item ID we can pass our item ID 218955. Have you find out the record or not? With the reference of this registration line ID and we can go to with the reference of this item ID we find out the header ID and here I am going to pass requisition header ID. So here I am giving 186.170. So now it is clearly shows what is our requisition number. Where it is stored? What is the column? Segment 1 column. This is our requisition number. Clear? Now I am going to check it in another table. What is that? POREQ distributions all, where we can give requisition line ID. So what is the requisition line ID here? 213378. Now it is clearly shows. Okay, what is the quantity and what is the code combination? Based on this code combination ID, we can go to find out the accounting information from GL code combinations. Where code combination ID equal to 056. Now we find out the accounting information while concatenate of these 5 segments columns. Then here segment 1, charge account, segment 1, segment 2, segment 3, segment 4, segment 5. Now we find out the exact charge account which is we created in our distribution table. Now we can go to check it in front end application whether the requisition is created or not. So which is the form we want to use? Which is the navigation? Requisition or requisition summary? Summary only, because of it is already approved, right? Go to requisition summary. We can give the requisition number. The requisition number is 7. Click on find. It shows approved. If you want to see the lines, then we can see. We cannot open the requisition once we approved. This is the lines and this is the distributions. This is the charge account. All of you clear? Okay. Once it is finished, text what we do? If you go for RFQ or if you go for directly PO. Okay. So if you want to go for RFQ, again we are going to create the quotations. Means first we prepare the RFQ. That RFQ will be sent into the supplier. Next we are going to receive the quotation from the suppliers. After that we analyze the quotation and we'll be going to create a new PO, and then we are going to move the PO to supplier. Okay. Then now I want to go to each and every level and you can get the clarity, right? Then here, so next level is RFQ. Then go to RFQ and RFQs. So here I am going to specify what is the type we want to approach. Now I want to choose standard RFQ. It is a active mode, and then now I am going to specify the close date. That is the close date, and go to lines. Here we can give the goods and what is the item we want to assign it. P2P item. Then this is the target price. This is our estimated price only. Okay. Now we are going to specify currency. The currency is same, and terms and condition. Payment terms, then cash on delivery, and carrier. We don't have carriers. Food on board, destination, and then now we completed the terms and conditions. Then we are going to price breaks. So here we clearly ask to the supplier, okay, then we want to purchase 1000 quantity from your side, how much discount you provided. Just we are going to ask to the supplier, we purchase 1000 quantity, but the price and the discount price is decided by the supplier only, okay, we never ask to that the information. And here once it is completed, now we are going to save the records, okay, so save it and suppliers. Now first of all we are going to check it, what are the tables are reflected, okay, then what are the tables, select start from PO headers all where, so what is the RFQ number 5, then where segment unequal to 5, and also we better to give the RGD. What is RGD? 731. Okay. So we have two records. One record is show as our RFQ. Again we want to specify the and type lookup code equal to RFQ. Code equal to RFQ. Now we are getting the proper information. Again, PO lines all where PO header ID 113306. We are getting the item information. What is the item? How much quantity we need to require. Sorry, in line locations we tell to the supplier how much quantity is required, right? PO line locations all where PO line ID equal to 176235. Now it is clearly shows how much quantity is required, okay. Once it is completed, now we are going to send this RFQ to suppliers. So here I am sending, I am choosing only one supplier, okay, for time being I am choosing only one supplier, right. There is the supplier only I want to choose for this item. Save the records. So this information is going to store in RFQ to supplier. What is the table? PO RFQ vendors. So here we are giving the PO header ID equal to 113306. Now it is show us clearly how many vendors are receiving this RFQ. Okay, we are sending only one vendor. Now once it is finished, the next we are expect the quotation from the suppliers, right? Quotation then let us, we completed this RFQ and close this one and prepare the quotation. Now the people, supplier is respond our RFQ and they are going to send as a file. So here also we are going to run the printed RFQ report. We want to run the print RFQ report, that will be going to send as a fax or mail to supplier, right? So here we have a program, standard program, right? What is that? Print RFQ details report, either landscape or portrait, we can choose any one that. So report type is all and buyer RFQ number is 5. Click on OK, submit. Now it is completed and generate the printout. Okay, that printout will be sent as a mail or as a fax or as a courier. Okay, then we'll be send it, and after that the supplier is going to respond our RFQ, and they are also sent as a quotation. They are also sent as a quotation as a mail. Okay, as a fax or as a courier. Once we receive that quotation, then what we do? Again we want to enter that information in our system. So here we don't want to enter the each and every information manually in our system. Already we have a RFQ information is there. With the reference of that RFQ, we are going to create the quotation. Create the quotation. So it is taking some time while going to complete this printout. Okay, fine. Once it is completed, then automatically the respected RFQ status is printed. Okay, then next we are going to create the quotation. Then go to quotations. So here observe this one. I don't want to directly go for quotation, so I can go to RFQ. I can open the RFQ. Okay, so here we freeze the form and give the RFQ number. So we have the RFQ data. No, still it is shows active, not a problem. Maybe the program is running. It is not completed. Once it is completed, the respective status is shown as printed. Okay. Now I want to copy the entire information from this document and will be create the which one. So I want to copy the entire RFQ information, and which is the type you want to create it. Standard quotation. And to which supplier? We have only one supplier. That supplier directly it will come. Click on OK. Now a new quotation has been copied from this RFQ. The quotation document number is 4. Now it is show us the respected quotation information along with our RFQ number. This is the RFQ number, this is our quotation number. This is the quotation form, right? So this information is going to store same tables, PO, headers all, where segment 1 equal to 4 and ARG ID equal to 7931. Now we have 3 records. In that one, only one is the quotation. Okay, remaining all are contract and another type lookup code, right? And type lookup code equal to quotation. Next we can go for PO lines all, where PO header ID equal to 113307. Let us next we can go for select star from PO line locations all, where PO line ID. So 176236. 176236. Here this is the quotation is coming from the supplier, right? So let us, we are going to check it. Currency, okay. Terms and condition, okay. And here price breaks. In this price break, the people clearly tell to us 2% we are going to provide the discount with 50 rupees price. So whenever you purchase 1000 items, we are giving 49 rupees. Okay, you can purchase the 1000 items only. If you go to purchase the 500 items, we didn't give the any discount. Then let us save the records and approve this quotation. Okay, click on approve. All orders. The reason best quality or best delivery quality. Now click on OK. Now our quotation has been approved. Okay, then save it. Then once it is finished, next we are going to analyze the quotation. We are going to analyze the quotation. So in this point of time, these quotation tables are reflected. Next we are going to analyze the quotation. Go to close this one. Quote analysis. Okay, here we are going to specify what is the RFQ number. RFQ, what is RFQ number? Quotation number. Then RFQ number is 5. Quotation number is 4. So here we have one is RFQ number. Okay, click on find. Because of that RFQ number, we receive the quotation. So we received only one quotation. Now we are going to analyze this quotation. Then we are going to read each and every comment, each and every field, and finally we are going to approve this quotation. Approve this entire quotation. Again we are going to all orders and the reason quality. The high authority people also approve this one. Now it is reflected here. Shipment approvals, right? So here in this point of time, no one table is not affected. So now we are going to create a PO. Okay, analyzation is completed. We are going to decide I want to purchase the items from these suppliers. Okay, then now we are going to create PO. Then go to purchase orders and purchase orders. Purchase orders and purchase orders. Then here we specify the supplier. What is the supplier? JPP9 supplier 1. Site is Hyderabad. And ship to location, we are going to specify JPP9 locations, JPP9 motors. Billing is motors. Ship to is our inventory location. Then now here we are going to specify what is the item we want to purchase it. P2P item. Then here how much quantity we need to require, 1000 items. And here we are going to specify promise date and need by date will be going to specify. Observe this one. If you specify 999, it is shows 50 only. Whenever we purchase the 1000 items, it is shows 49 rupees. Okay. Now here in this reference document, it is clearly shows what is the quotation. This is the quotation, standard quotation, the quotation number, right? Next go to and the currency. Then currency is okay, and the terms and conditions, 5 terms, cash on delivery, and we don't have carrier, destination. Then let us go to shipments. So in that shipments we clearly tell to them, so what is the promise date and need by date. So here this is the organization. So where exactly we want to receive the items. Suppose here I want to receive the items, master inventory organization. Okay, fine, not a problem. Then we are going to specify first we want to tell to the need by date is 31, and if in case the need by date is going to reach, definitely we want to move the promise date. Actually promise date is going to specified by the supplier, that people is specifying into the quotation. Okay, so next we can go for distributions. In that distributions we are going to give the charge account. And so what is the variation account? destination. So everything is completed. Once it is finished, now we are going to save the records and generate the PO number. So we are going to complete it to create the PO. Now we are going to click on approve. So the total amount is 49,000. Click on OK. Now the PO is approved. Once the PO is approved, then let us go to check it from backend tables. Same tables, PO, headers all, where segment 1 equal to 9 and org ID equal to 7931. This is our operating unit, right? Then next we can go for PO lines all, where PO header ID equal to 113308, and the next we can go for PO line locations all. So here we can go the PO line ID 176237. The last one is distributions. PO distributions all, where line location ID. Where location ID. So here we should give the our respected line location information, right? So now these 3-4 tables are reflected. We'll be going to create the PO, okay? And also our PO is approved. All of you clear? Then next, what is the next step? Once PO is sent into the supplier, supplier is respond our PO and send the items to our inventory. Now we are going to create the receipts. So here go to receiving and receipts. So here we choose the master inventory organization and we can give the PO number. That is our PO number, right? Because of this PO is specify the organization, inventory organization is master inventory organization. In line locations, means in shipment form we specify the organization is 100. Now the people is going to send the items to that master organization only. Yes. Now it is going to show us the respected supplier. So this is the supplier is going to having this PO number. Click on find. The supplier is send the items. How many items? 1000 items. Then what is the destination type? Inventory. So it is a direct delivery. It is a direct delivery. Directly 2 records are reflected. If it is standard, inventory means receiving and inventory. So if you go for inspection required, receiving and inspection, next delivery. Okay, then. So where exactly we want to move it? So in master, I want to move it in this sub inventory transaction, sub inventory name. Save the records and get it the receipt number in master organization, right? Now go to find out RCV shipment headers where receipt num equal to 2. So here we are getting lot of information. So how we can go to do that? How we are going to understand what is our receipt? RKD, ship to RKD, right? And ship to RKD equal to our master organization ID. What is our master organization ID? 7935, exactly. Very good. Okay, this is the join. Next we can go to find out the RCV shipment lines where shipment header ID equal to 4815907. Then it is going to show us how much quantity shipped, how much we received. Then next we can go to find out RCV transactions where shipment header ID. So in header ID we are going to find out 4815907. Now it shows two records, right? So here we are clearly understand how much items we receive, how much items we deliver to our inventory. Receiving and deliver. So where we are going to deliver this one? So in this point of time, and also some inventory tables are reflected. What are the? This is our sub inventory. Whenever we are going to done the transaction, this is the one transaction in our item. Which table is reflected this transaction information? MTL material transactions. MTL material transactions. So here we have a transaction ID where transaction ID equal to 4897363 and 364, but here it doesn't have that respected information. So how we can go to find out? Let us one second. So here in this we have inventory item ID. Okay, we can go to give that respected inventory item ID as a our join condition. We can easily understand inventory item ID. What is our inventory item ID? So this is our inventory item ID 218955. Now it is clearly shows. So observe this one 23613,989. So this transaction and that transaction does not equal. Okay, please keep in our mind. That is the reason I want to show this one. And also we have a one more table. What is the table? We have one more table is there. On hand quantity. Okay. Yes. Select star from MTL on hand quantities detail. Again we are giving the same inventory item ID. Now it is clearly show us how much items we receive. 1000 primary and what is the store, right? So these are the tables are reflected when we are going to receive the items from the suppliers, right? Then next, once it is completed, next what we do? Generate the invoice. Then next we can go for payable module. Account payables. Then go to account payable module, and here we create the invoice. We create the invoice So here we are giving the PO number. What is our PO number? 9, right? Once we are giving the PO number, automatically it shows the supplier. It is going to freeze. Okay? We are not possible to change the supplier information. And the site is there, and invoice date is today date, and invoice number. Now I am going to give P2P invoice 1. Okay? How much amount? 49,000 rupees. Okay? Then next, once it is completed, then go to lines. Okay, while trying to commit payment method, check. Go to lines. Now here we are giving the 49,000 rupees. So PO line, PO shipment, and the receipt number. Automatically it will come because of all transactions are completed successfully. Receipt number is 2. Yeah. So receipt line 1, quantity we received 1000. So here, if in case we are not receiving 1000 quantity, we are going to change it. At the time of receiving also we can change how much quantity we receive from the suppliers. Now go to distributions. To which account we are going to release this one? Automatically it will come 49,000, because of already we specifying charge account in our PO level, PO distributions, right? So now we are going to check it whether our invoice is created or not. Invoice is successfully created. Invoice is successfully created. Now we check it invoice tables. What are the invoice tables? Select sort from AB invoices on where invoice number or number. Okay, then here, okay, better to give like P2P. We find out the invoice number. The invoice amount is 49,000. We have direct column is there. Okay, and next we have one more table, AB invoice lines all where invoice ID equal to 215301. It is a P2P item. And then next we can go to AP invoice distributions on where again we can give the same invoice ID 215301. It shows charge account information. Okay, then how much amount, everything. Okay, once it is completed, now we are going to validate this invoice. Okay, click on action. So here observe this one. Before going to validate, I want to check it whether this invoice is having event ID or not. Accounting event ID. We don't have any accounting event ID before validate. Now we are going to validate. Sometimes they are asking this question. Okay, please remember. Now we validate this one. Click on OK. Now system is going to validate this invoice. Status is validated, and check it event ID. But here, once we are getting the event ID, now we want to create the accounting for this invoice transaction. Okay, then go to action. So here we have two ways is there. One is go to actions, create accounting. Another one is go to SRS window. From here also we have a option. Both ways we can possible to create the accounting for this transaction. Okay. Now I am going to choose direct way. Action, create accounting. So here final post. Okay, click on OK. Now system is going to accounting has been successfully created for this transaction. Click on OK. Go to check it in accounting tables. So what are the accounting tables? So XLA tables means sub ledger accounting tables. Okay. Select store from XLA events where event ID equal to 33277713. Next, it is a validated XLA AE headers where again we can give the event ID 33277713. So transfer to GL XLA AE lines where AE header ID 4949977. Then we have transferred this information to GL. Let us check it what happened in our program, whether still it is running. So this is the problem in our server machine, but actually here these programs are completed successfully. Once these programs are completed successfully, the data is reflected through GL interface to GL base tables. Now I want to show you that table. So here we have a interface table. Select store from GL interface where. How we can go to find out? Reference 26 is having our event ID 33277713. Still it is show as new because of it is not processed. Once that programs are completed successfully, this status is going to show as a process. Okay, it is show as process, and here we are going to find out the respected JE batch ID and header ID. Still it is not created, but if the patches or setups are all successfully completed, definitely it will be going to done. Okay, and what are the tables are reflected? General ledger module is involved here. Select store from GL JE batches, but I don't want to show here because of we didn't create the batch ID. Yeah, through GL interface table data will be reflected into the GL base tables. Okay, and next we have a GL JE headers, and next GL JE lines. These tables are reflected once that posting program means here. For creating accounting means these tables are reflected, XLA tables. Okay. For journal import program is to transfer the data. Journal import, just compare to requisition import, journal import, right? To transfer the data from interface tables to GL based tables. And also system is going to run one more program. Still it is not show us one more program that is called as a posting single ledger. Posting single ledger. Once that program is completed, then next the data is reflected into GL balances. Exactly. Right. So this is the process is applicable for invoice. So next we want to make the payments. Then again go to close this one. So here I don't want to go for the payment form. I want to directly make the payment from here also. Actions, pay in full. Directly it is going to visit to the payment form. Pay in full, click on OK. Now let us check it. This is the payment form. So we have two ways is there. We can manually open the payment form, or else directly we can go for from invoice to payment form. So here the same supplier information, right? And here we are going to specify payment date. Observe this one. Once I specify the payment date, automatically amount is coming. How much we are going to clear? What is the bank? We have a bank, our bank, right? From our bank to supplier bank we want to reflect it. Pay process profile. So here I am choosing manual, okay, standard, and okay, anyone we can choose it. Okay, now I am choosing check positive pay. Automatically it will come. Already 1000 check number we are using last transaction, right? So next, remit to account. So what happened? Everything will be fine. Then now we are going to save the records. The data is going to reflect it into the downline when we are going to save this one. Automatically it will come to the downline. Now we can check it. Payments. What are the tables? Select star from AP, invoice, payments all, where invoice ID equal to, what is our invoice ID? This is our invoice ID 215301. Yeah. So it is created. The respected amount is 49,000. Then next, and also we have one more table, AP payment, AP payment schedules all. This table is going to show us how much amount is pending, right? We want to check it at this table also. Where invoice ID equal to 215301. Done. We don't have any pending. Next we have AP checks all, where invoice ID only. Oh, sorry. Here we find out the check ID, right? And here we can give the check ID. $80530. Now it is show us check information. And also here we have a bank account name, and we can go to find out the bank information. We have a IPY payments all. Here we can give the payment ID. Where you can find out the payment ID? So here I thought we can find out the payment ID. So from here we find out the payment. Yes. Payment ID 20665. With the reference of that payment ID, we are going to clearly understand what is the payment information and how much amount we are going to clear the payment. And next, we have some another bank tables, IPY, docs, payable, all. So here also we can give the payment ID equal to 20665. Then for which invoice we are going to clear the payment. Okay. Next we are going to find out the IPY service request all. IPY pay service requests. So here we can give the payment service request ID. So that will be find out here. What is the service request ID? Which one? So from here. Then service request ID 13155. This is our service request ID. It shows payment is created. Quick payment. Okay. And if you want to find out the bank information, actually here we find out the bank account number ID. Okay. With the reference of that one, we are going to retrieve the data from CE bank accounts. So here we are going to give the bank account ID. Okay, all of you clear that? So once it is completed, now we are going to find out the accounting event ID, whether accounting event ID is generated or not for this transaction. Then sorry. Let us accounting event ID. So we have a accounting event ID because of we don't want to validate the payments. Directly we create it. That is the reason automatically it will come. Now we can go to find out the XLA tables where event ID 3327714. This is the event for our transaction. Payment is created but it is not processed. Okay. So means we are not created the accounting for this one. SLA subledger accounting. Let us you can go to check it in our subledger table. Data does not reflect it. XLA AE headers where event ID equal to 3327714. System does not show us any data because of we are not create the accounting for this transaction. So now go to front end, go to actions, and we want to create the accounting for this transaction. Final post, click on OK. Now it will show us create accounting transaction for this. Okay, click on OK. Let us check it from backend. Still the data is there. Now the process is N. Still does not affect into the interface table. Keep on refresh. It shows yes. Yes means the data is available in interface table. XLA AE lines where AE header ID equal to 4949978. Now it is going to show us cash clearings. Till it shows yes. Now we can check it from first table to last table. It is processed. Okay. Still it is shows no because of maybe the earlier programs does not complete it. All programs are pending. Right? That is the reason. Okay. So now we can go to check it in interface table. So what is the interface table? Yes. Exactly. Select start from GL interface where reference 26 equal to 3327714. Still it does not show the data. Why? Because the earlier programs does not complete it. That is the reason. Once the programs are completed successfully, automatically data will be reflected into the interface table. And next, GL base table. What are the GL base tables? GLJE batches and GLJE headers and GLJE lines. Next, we can post the journal. The finally data is reflected into the balances. Okay, so means this will be called it as journals. And once we post the journals, then this table is reflected. Okay, so these are the tables are reflected in our procure to pay process. All of you clear? So this is the way we want to approach, and while we going to work with the procure to pay process. So here there are how many modules are involved? 4 modules: inventory, PO, account payable, and general ledger. Okay, and also in this one we don't have any direct link between from AP to GL. So definitely we want to use the one respected join is there. Okay, that will be going to discuss when we are going to explain the joins. I will explain what are the major joins between each and every module. Okay, clear, all of you? This is the way we want to approach. It's a very important cycle. If you are feel comfortable to understand this flow, you can easily understand what happened into the procure to pay process and each and every module transactions. Okay, then just I want to copy this one. Will be changes. Okay, fine, not a problem. So each and everything will be available here. Okay, yeah. These are the tables. This last XLA tables and GL tables are repeated for invoice and for payments. Okay, invoice and payments. Sorry, accounting transaction. XLA tables and GL tables. Clear, all of you? Better to do the practice more and more this one, then you can easily remember, or else if you watch this video also you can easily remember. So what is exactly our work is, we want to remember what are the tables are reflected from back end, and also we want to understand what happened from front end. Okay, always don't concentrate only on tables, we want to understand from front end also, then only we don't want to depend on anyone. So actually here each and every setup we are completed properly. That is the reason we completed this process. Already you know that what are the setups is required for this each and every module, right? The last class, just we can go to revise the last videos. Each and every video is going to show us what are the setups are required for every module, what are the setups are required for every transaction, what are the periods are open also. Okay.